Hey everybody, it's Bob Woods from the Stogie Network here. It's a network for cigar lovers and those in the cigar profession as well. We do these videos every week, even even when we're feeling a bit under the weather. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, the main hub for the Stogie Network is the actual Stogie site. That's at www.stogie.com. That's Stogie with a D.com. So I'm sick. Actually have a head cold that's making me a little spacey, and also have strep throat on medication, stuff like that for everything, and a little more jolly than normal. I've actually got some swollen glands. You all don't need to hear about that, but the biggest thing is that the last thing I want right now is a cigar. Yet still have to do these cigar video reviews, especially because we are going to have a sweepstakes with this one, and I didn't want to deny people out there the chance to win the cigar that we are tasting today. So it was originally supposed to be the one that we're reviewing was originally supposed to be the Nub Habano. Didn't get a chance to do a pre-smoke on that. I did get a chance to pre-smoke the other one that was actually going to be for 2 weeks out, but because I did the pre-smoke just before I got sick, I'm just going to upset the apple cart a little bit and review that one first. So the cigar is the CAO La Traviata. It is the Radiante, which is 6 inches in length by a 52 rain gauge. It is made in Nicaragua. The filler is Dominican Republic and Nicaraguan. The binder is from Cameroon, and the wrapper, which is an excellent wrapper by the way, is from Ecuador. Picked it up for about $6.50. I'll confirm that for the graphic, but it was somewhere around there. And I got it at my good old standby Davidoff Cigars in Olney, Maryland. So with that, you know, it's interesting that I actually picked the two cigars, the CAO and the Nub Habano, before the whole news about both of the marquee personalities from both of their brands actually leaving. So you know, if anybody wants to get into a cigar, you know, leaving pool, I wouldn't call it a dead pool, but you know what I'm talking about. I would clean up in that. So anyhow, let's go down and get to the aesthetics of this cigar, which is just amazing. I just commented before about the wrapper, the Ecuadorian wrapper. It's magnificent. It's like leather basically, and that's a good thing in this case. It actually it looks really good. The wrapper, I'm sorry, not the wrapper. You could tell that I'm a little sick. I'm a little spacey and having problems formulating full sentences here. But the band is also excellent. The cap is very well put together and put on. I really like the aesthetics. You know, sometimes you just know when something aesthetically is good. This is one of those cases. I'm actually going to give it, aesthetics-wise, a 4.7. I really like the looks of this cigar, and I think that anyone who knows much of anything about cigars will definitely like it too. Construction-wise, speaking of the double bands, something very interesting about this cigar. If you've ever had a cigar like the La Gloria Cubana, the Serie R, it looks like it's a two-part band, but it's actually just one band, which, you know, I can understand that. It doesn't matter. That also kind of sets up the expectations for other cigars that look like that look like it's a dual band, but put together as a single band, kind of layered type of thing. This one actually has 2 bands on it, and it looks so good you can't even tell. I mean, and it's that type of thing that tells me that the construction about the rest of the cigar is going to be very good, and that's definitely the case here. It's constructed very well. It's very handsome. It's a fantastic cigar in terms of construction. Now, the one thing that I'm going to take off for just a little teeny tiny bit is the whole burn issue. I did have a burn issue with it coming back for my cigar test, which was actually done in my car coming back from an appointment. Anyhow, it's not real fun to light a cigar or to even out the burn of a cigar while you're driving. I'm sure the PC patrollers, nanny staters, pleasure police, whatever you want to call them, will probably one day come up with a law against people trying to even out the light of their, or even out the burn of their cigars in their cars. So until that happens, I'm just going to have to do it myself. So anyhow, for construction, we are going to give it a very solid 4.4. Maybe it's because I'm sick and I'm just kind of grouchy, but 4.4 for construction. It's still very well made. Now on to the pre-burn. Because I'm sick, I'm sure as heck not going to smoke this thing. So so anyhow, for the pre-burn, I'm going to actually take my experience just from being in the car and driving with the cigar smoke around me. From the very first whiff of it, this was an excellent cigar. In fact, the thought of cigars right now just kind of make me gag a little bit, just only because I'm sick. But actually remembering what the cigar was, how it smelled, just on the first couple of lights and puffs, actually doesn't get me like that at all. So either I'm starting to get a little better, or it was that good. So for the pre-burn, I'm just going to call it excellent, and just kind of leave it at that. So before we get on to the actual flavors of the cigar, I want to bring out real quick the libation of the review. This is something that my wife actually brought home. I never even heard of it. I have not had it with the cigar, but after having the cigar and having this beer separately, I can tell you that they would both actually go very, very well together. I don't know if you get Goose Island out of Chicago in your neck of the woods, but the mild winter, I don't even know if this is a lager or an ale, to be honest with you, but it's mild winter. It's definitely a beer that can stand up to a medium full type of smoke. It's just a really good quality beer. I'd talk a little more about it, but my taste buds are a little messed up right now because of the cold. Just trust me when I say mild winter, which actually in Chicago, using the word Chicago and the phrase mild winter in the same sentence just never happens, by the way. But these two go very, very well together. I'd highly recommend the combination. Okay, now we're on to the beginning of the cigar, and like I said, I took notes, so you're not going to see me smoke it. Who cares if you see me smoking or not, to be quite honest with you. I just do it mainly because I want to smoke it on camera. But at the start, it's definitely a medium-bodied smoke. There is, let's see, there was actually, it wasn't wimpy in terms of the amount of smoke that you're able to draw in. It was very, you get a full mouth of smoke every single time. You know, that kind of rich, booming type of thing, which if you know anything about the La Traviata, the CAO designed it to be kind of a Cuban type of experience when it comes to smoking a cigar. And when it comes to, you know, the actual intake and expelling of the cigar smoke, they definitely have it down there. Definitely very medium bodied. Did get some coffee off of it, and also it was really interesting in terms of cocoa. When I went to you know, kind of light the wrapper a little bit, you know, just twirl it on your boy, I even got it that time. Twirl it on your tongue as it is. I actually thought I tasted a little cocoa. I mean, that's how much, you know, that's how much you're going to get cocoa out of this. Obviously, it's not a flavored cigar or anything like that, but the smell and the taste of cocoa is really fantastic in this cigar. So in terms of the rating for the start, I'm going to give it a very solid 4.4. Starts out as very medium and is very promising in terms of the rest of the cigar. Okay, let's talk about the midpoint now. It's definitely getting medium to full at the midpoint. The flavors, more coffee, are definitely coming on. Also getting pepper at that point, and it's really getting into a really medium full smoke that is that just really makes you want more. And considering the fact that you're only down halfway, you're definitely looking forward to the rest of the cigar. So I would say for the midpoint, for flavor, it is a very solid 4.6. Okay, now we're talking about the end here. At the end, it is almost a full cigar at this point. In fact, probably when it got to about here, I was actually at home sitting out back here just enjoying the cigar. It almost got a little bit too overpowerful. And I almost put it down, but I thought, no, you know something, I'm going to get through it and see what happens. I don't know if it was just because of the sample or what, but if you're smoking this cigar and you find that you get to that point, power your way through it, because what comes afterwards is probably the best part of the cigar. I mean, it is just amazing in terms of the coffee that you get off of it. You get a little bit of anise as well there, but the biggest thing that you get out of it is the pepper, I think, and a little cedar. Well, pepper, cedar, kind of the same thing, but you definitely get both of those flavors as well. So as I said, if you get to that little point where it's almost a little too much, get through it. You will definitely be happy afterwards. I was definitely happy afterwards. In fact, so much so that for the flavor dash end part of our review, I'm giving this a 4.8. That's how much I liked the end of the cigar. In terms of being a finger burner, oh yeah, I got it down to like there or something like that. Basically, it almost blipped out of existence. Very worth it to get it down to just as much as you possibly can. So yes, it is very much so a finger burner. Okay, it's time to average out the rating now. After all is said and done, and because I computed it ahead of time, because I never want to do what I did in the very first video, which is get the rating totally wrong on camera, the rating came out to an average just a shade below 4.6, so we're going to round up. It's a 4.6 rating, and for the price that we paid, which was around $6.50, that combined with a 4.6 rating, do I really need to say it? It is absolutely thumbs up in terms of me being able to very much so recommend this stick. I can't think of another stick immediately that's at that price point that is so good in terms of the thank you for the appearance by the dog, by the way, in terms of the smoke and in terms of the value price point. Just a fantastic cigar overall. Now it's time to talk quickly about our contest. The details are at www.stogie.com/CAO review, and that's all one word, CAO review. We're going to be giving away 2 of these beauties. You know, I almost don't want to give them away, but you know, I told myself at the very beginning that I was going to give away cigars when I did these reviews, and so actually at the price point I can actually afford to go and get more, which is pretty cool actually. So 2 cigars. Go to www.stogie.com/CAO review. Read how to do it. It involves you having a Twitter account, and it's really not that big of a deal to enter. And you know, so far at this point, we will have given away 2 two-packs of cigars, if you can even call that a 2-pack. And hopefully our winners are enjoying them, or well, actually they're probably in the mail on the way to them right now. So hopefully they'll be enjoying them soon, and hopefully you will win and get to this cigar as well. So until next time, I'm Bob Woods from Stogied. Again, that's at www.stogied.com. That's Stogie with a D.com. Again, we'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll feel good enough to actually be able to smoke a cigar on camera, and because it tastes so good and quite frankly the carbonation feels good, I'm going to say cheers. Oh my God, it really does feel good. Beer and a strep throat, you're never going to hear it from a doctor. It's fantastic.